And if you see him, do not acknowledge him. Do not speak. Do not scream.
But who will scare the crows away?
This is a game that you should never attempt to play. The Man in the Fields game. People who said to play this game and win has been granted spiritual and physical protection.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at you.
Do something with it.
It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needing me. Money coming in repeatedly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in all day. Money coming in all paid. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me.
This is why you should never perform the Man in the Fields ritual. People say if you complete it, you will be granted peace for the rest of your life. But once you begin, the Man in the Fields begins with you. Before sunset, you need to find yourself an isolated house. You can use your own, but you need to have at least one field nearby. A backyard also works, but open space is key. He needs room to wait. The next step is that you need to prepare the house. And this is because he can use reflections to jump space. This means covering every single mirror one by one. You then have to go around and unplug every single electronic. Anything that could connect you to the outside world needs to be shut off. Then you need to lock every single door and window from the inside. These are your only barriers between you and him. Then you need to light a single candle. And this candle will be your only light for the entire night. You can't use flashlights, you can't use lamps, just this one single flame. If this flame goes out, you are in trouble. Now it's time to stand at your back door and look out at the field. At exactly 1 minute before sunset, you need to speak out loud. I'm aware of your presence and I welcome you into my home. Don't look away from the field. Don't blink for too long. You might see movement, but you might not. But whether you see him or not, he is here now. Now you've invited him in and he will test you hour by hour. Here are the rules. Every hour, on the hour, you must walk through the entire home and physically check all the doors, all the windows, and any entry points that could have allowed him in. You must actually touch them and whisper, locked, safe. Make sure you do this for every single one, every single hour. Even if it seems pointless, even if you're exhausted, because every hour, if you fail to check them all, he moves closer. And if you miss a round, he moves from the field to your yard. Miss another, he's at your back door. Then your hallway, then the room next to you, and then he's even in the same room. If your candle goes out at any point, you need to relight it immediately. And if it won't relight, that means he's inside. And that means that you will have to complete this ritual without light. And if you see him, do not acknowledge him. Do not speak. Do not scream. Do not run. Just complete your checks and ignore him. That is your only hope. And do not sleep. If you sleep for even a second, the ritual ends. And if the ritual ends, you lose. And you'll hear things. You'll hear a voice calling from the other room. You'll hear footsteps stop when you stop. Sometimes you'll even hear crying. But whatever you do, don't follow these sounds. You make it to sunrise without missing a single hourly check, without letting the candle go out permanently, without acknowledging his presence, you have survived. You then need to go to the back door and you need to say you are no longer welcome. And then, and only then, you can uncover your mirror, you can unlock your door.
But who will scare the crows away?
This is a game that you should never attempt to play. The Man in the Fields game. People who said to play this game and win has been granted spiritual and physical protection and wealth. Many people who lost the game was said to be taken by the so-called Man in the Field. To play the game, you have to call upon the Man in the Field. To do this, make sure at the last brink of sunset you take a lamp and go to your backyard. Now light the lantern while facing away from your house in your backyard and repeat 7 times. Who will scare the crows away? Now if after the 7th time you say this and you hear nothing, then the game is over, it didn't work. However, if you hear a voice that says that's not your biggest problem, then the game has begun. Now, quickly run into your house and find a room with only 1 door and 1 window. This will be your safe room. Make sure you close everything in that room that can be closed. This includes cabinets, drawers, bags, anything that can open and close. Close it. Every few seconds, you'll realize that these things that can be open will be open and you have to hurry and close them. That is your safe room and you have to stay in there until midnight. If you end up seeing a shadow man while playing the game, try to ignore him. He's just a distraction. Who you should be worried about is the man in the fields. Survive until midnight and get never-ending fortune. Like and comment on this video if you guys think I should go live and play this game.
Now, I love this young man. I watch his videos all the time, but I thought it was so funny that immediately after he says, do not try this ritual, he went ahead and did the ritual. But he also practices, like, he does spirituality work, so he probably know how to protect himself, I hope. But let's get into it.
Hi guys, welcome to the live. We're currently playing the Man in the Field Scary Challenge game right now. Right now, I'm in the crop field and I'm about to call the Man in the Field. It's simple. A game that originated from the British Islands itself. Said that if you should win it and play it properly and win, you will gain a year of good luck. And it's starting to rain, so I better hurry. Light the candle and face your house and say, who will scare the crows away? And wait for the man in the field to say, that is not your only problem. But who will scare the crows away? 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 Who will scare the crows away? I don't hear shit. Are you okay? Yell. Okay, how many times should I say it? I forgot. Does anybody know about this game? Ten times? Okay. But who will scare the crows away? But who will scare the crows away? Did you guys hear that? Gotta watch out for poison ivy. One last time, 10 times. But who will scare the crows away? 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 Don't look back. Head to my house. Oh my God, did you guys see how it stopped? What the? Did you guys see how the wind stopped? We're playing the Man in the Fields ritual. Okay, all I have to... Shit. Ah! It started to rain. I gotta find myself out of here, guys. Shit! I think this is the wrong way. Hold up, look. This is blocked off. Don't tell me I moved. Hold on. My phone's gonna get wet. I think I found a way out. What?
There's nothing there. I can't look back though in real life. My heart just stopped. What's going on? Listen, my phone is about to... Gotta get out of it. Hello? I need to call somebody to guide me out. Hold on. No. I have to end this. I have to end this.
The man in the fields is an ancient pagan deity that lives in rural areas. He has the ability of teleportation, invisibility, super speed, and superhuman strength. The man in the field looks like a scarecrow. His head is a cow skull. He is pale with extremely long limbs and long claws. He lives in rural areas because he likes to be alone with his victims when summoned. Summoning him can extend your lifespan, financial status, or social status for 1 year. Because he is a nocturnal creature, he can be summoned anytime after 9 p.m. and when the sun is set. He rewards anyone who can complete the ritual without looking at him. To summon him, you must go to an open backyard anytime at night, and for financial status, you need to summon him at 2 a.m. You have to whisper 7 times "Who will scare the crows away." Then a voice will say that is not your biggest problem. You must then return home. Everything in your house that can be opened will be. You then must find a room, put a cross inside, and lock the door for protection. During the ritual, you must lock each door that is opened. You will see an eerie man with farmer overalls. That's Harold. He's making sure the ritual is done right. You must lock every open item in the house within an hour. At no point are you to look at the backyard. If you do, you will see the elongated man in the field staring at you. If you have seen him, then he has seen you, and he will run into the house and kill you. Unless you lock yourself in the safe room with the cross, where you will have to endure his screams and clawing until morning, and you will not be rewarded. And that's the man in the field, or the elongated man. What do you guys think about him? Y'all know me, I'm not gonna summon this person. I don't think you should summon this person. It's not even worth it for 1 year, 1 year's worth. For all this for 1 year's worth? No, thank you. And a creepy guy in overalls is gonna be in my house? No, thank you. Like and follow for more videos.
One of the more unsettling stories from Let's Not Meet is called The Man in the Field by user hidden_leaves. The story begins when the user was a teenager living in a rural area surrounded by large fields. One evening, after coming home from school, she noticed a man standing far out in the field behind her house. He was just standing there, facing her house, completely still. At first, she thought it might be someone working on the land, but the longer she watched, the more uncomfortable she felt. The man didn't move. He didn't look away. He just stood there staring. A few hours later, when her parents came home, she mentioned the man in the field, but when they looked, he was gone. They shrugged it off, thinking it might have been a hunter or a neighbor. But over the next few days, the man returned, always in the same spot, just standing there and watching. The user became more and more unnerved. One night, as she was getting ready for bed, she glanced out the window, and there he was again. Only this time, he was much closer to the house. She ran to tell her father, who immediately went outside with a flashlight to confront him. But by the time her father reached the spot where the man had been standing, there was no one there. No tracks in the field. Nothing. This went on for weeks. The man would appear randomly, always standing in the field. But every time someone tried to approach him, he would vanish without a trace. One night, the user woke up to a soft tapping sound on her window. She froze, her heart pounding in her chest, and slowly pulled back the curtain. The man was standing right outside her window. She screamed, and her father rushed in, but by the time they looked, the man was already gone. They called the police, but no one ever figured out who he was or why he was watching them. They eventually moved away, but the memory of the man in the field still haunts her, especially the thought that, while they never saw him again after that night, he might still be out there, watching.
They say if he's still eating when the sun dies, he'll come eat you. He don't knock, don't speak, just appears, right when the light gives up, like him waiting behind your eyes for the moment you forgot to be afraid. They call him the 6 o'clock man. Tall, still, face like wet paper stretched over a smile that ain't his. They say he wears a suit like he's headed to church. My grandmama used to say, don't leave no food on the table after 6, don't eat alone, and never ever turn your back to the dough. But I did. I poured a glass of wine, laughed at old warnings, ate like nothing in this world could touch me. Then the house went quiet. Didn't see or meant to, didn't need to. He was already there. Long fingers tapped the table, and that smile like he'd been hungry a long time. They say the 6 o'clock man don't want your food. He come to eat what's still warm, what's still moving. And if he finds pride at that table, he eats that too.
I did this ritual and my pet started acting weird.
Luna! Luna! Stop being mean, Luna! Luna? Luna, stop it! Stop being mean! What? No! No. Guys, I think there's literally a man standing in my backyard. Or on my balcony. There's literally a man standing on my balcony. I have to go check that out. Okay. I can do this. I can do this. I think I closed everything. Like, this is my safe room. I have to go right there. I saw somebody. I looked in the backyard. It said I wasn't supposed to look in the backyard. I looked right onto the balcony, and I saw something. I don't know what it was. It looked like the figure of a dude. And I'm really hoping that it really wasn't. You know what I mean? Come on, focus. Everything's defocusing. Thankfully, in my safe room here, everything is shut. There's nothing open in here, so I'm safe. I'm safe in my safe room. But otherwise, I'm screwed. Holy shit, dude. Holy shit. Okay. Come on, Michael, come here. Come here. Get in the room, get in the room, get in the room. Get in the room. Go. Kovu, come on. Are you kidding me right now? Why is Luna running? What are you running from? Oh my God, no. No. Michael, get in there. Kovu. No. Oh my God. No. Guys, there's literally somebody in my fucking living room right now. There's literally all the animals have to stay in this room until 6.
I used to take the same road home every night. A quiet stretch of highway that cut through miles of empty farmland. No streetlights, no traffic. Just darkness and the occasional outline of an old abandoned barn. It never bothered me. Until last month. The first time I saw him, I barely noticed. Just a shape in the distance, standing in the middle of one of the fields. A tall figure, unmoving, watching the road. I didn't think much of it. Maybe a scarecrow? A farmer checking his land? The next night he was there again. Same spot, same stillness. By the third night, I started to feel uneasy. I kept my eyes on the road, refusing to look. But just as I passed, I caught a glimpse of something wrong. He was closer. Not by much, just a few feet nearer to the road. By the end of the week, he was standing right at the fence line. Still, staring. Every night, he moved just a little bit closer. I told myself it was my imagination, that he'd always been there, that I was overthinking it. But last night, as I passed the field, my headlights landed right on him, and for the first time, he moved. Not much, just a slight tilt of the head, but that was enough. I slammed the gas. When I got home, I locked every door, every window. My hands wouldn't stop shaking. I barely slept, because now I know he's not staying in the field anymore. He's not staying in the field anymore. This morning, I debated taking a different route home, but it would add an extra 30 minutes to my drive, and I told myself I was being ridiculous. It was just a man in a field, a man who shouldn't be there, a man who moved. I spent the entire day trying to convince myself it didn't matter, that I could drive past again and nothing would happen. But the second the sun set, that feeling came back, like something was waiting. By the time I reached the field, my hands were gripping the wheel so tightly my knuckles were white. I didn't want to look, but I couldn't help it. My headlights hit the fence line. The field was empty. No figure, no man. For the first time in a week, he was gone. Relief washed over me. Maybe I had imagined the whole thing. Maybe it had been a trick of the light, a coincidence. Then, as I pulled into my driveway, my stomach dropped. There, standing at the edge of my yard, was him, closer than ever. I ran inside, slamming the door, locking it behind me. My breath came in shallow gasps as I checked the windows. I couldn't see him anymore, but I felt him. I turned off all the lights, sat in the corner of my room, and tried to calm myself. I wouldn't look outside. I wouldn't let fear get to me. Then, a soft tapping. Not at my door. Not at my window. At my bedroom closet. I'm not alone in the house.
Not to get creeped out, let's talk about someone else who tried the man in the fields ritual. And by the way, if you don't know what the man in the fields ritual is, it's essentially where you summon this entity to stand in your backyard while you complete some tasks inside your house. And if you complete it within a certain amount of time, you either get physical safety for a whole year, physical and financial safety for a whole year, or physical and financial safety and no negative consequences for any of your actions for a whole year. So anyway, for storytelling purposes, we will name this person Cora. Cora decided she basically wanted to do the ritual for shits and giggles. She wanted to do the 3-hour version, which is the easiest one, to see if she could get physical safety for a year. I mean, the ritual says you'll go a year without even getting a paper cut. So stubbing your toe, not going to happen. Stepping on Lego barefoot, not going to happen. So at 9 o'clock, she went outside into her backyard and said, "But who will scare the crows away?" And she said it 7 times. And as soon as she said it the 7th time, she heard,
"That's not your biggest problem."
Scary. But this girl was a Virgo, and I'm a Virgo, so I understand. She was meticulous. Actually, I don't understand. Sometimes I understand. She was meticulous, and the bitch closed everything she needed to. She did not miss a single piece of Tupperware, any jars, the apps on her phone, a book laying open on the counter. She didn't miss anything. She had a really small house, so she was actually able to finish closing everything super quickly. By the way, that's what you have to do in the ritual. You have to close every single item in your house, and you have to have a safe room with a crucifix in it because it's going to be bad news bears for you, probably, if you fuck up. But like I said, she closed everything. She was done within about an hour and a half, so that at that point, she was actually able to go around again and double check everything. And everything was closed in every drawer, in every cupboard, in every closet, in every space of her house. Even the toilet seat, okay, guys? Even the drain in her sink and in her bathtub. Throughout the 3 hours, she does not look outside. She also doesn't see the ashen man, but she does keep seeing something out of the corner of her eye, and she's not sure if it's just her mind playing tricks on her or if it's the ashen man. At about 10 minutes left to midnight, she goes into her safe room with her crucifix and lays down in bed, closing her eyes and her mouth, because you have to do that as well. Creepy. Now, the rules specifically say once you close your eyes, don't open them ever at all until morning. So at some point in the middle of the night, she has no idea what time because she couldn't open her eyes, but she could tell it was still very dark out. So she knew it was not morning. But at one point, she wakes up and thankfully remembers that she can't open her eyes, but she's hearing something, and it's terrifying. She can hear footsteps walking back and forth outside of her bedroom door. She said that she thought she was literally going to shit the bed. Like, that's terrifying, guys. I would lose my mind. I would lose it. So creepy. She laid there with her eyes closed, sweating and terrified while she heard the steps going back and forth, back and forth. She doesn't know how long this went on for. She couldn't fall asleep while it was happening, but she thinks it was for about 5 or 10 minutes, nothing too crazy. However, it was, again, walking back and forth past her bedroom door, and then suddenly she heard the footsteps stop and it sounded close, like right near her bedroom door, and she was just holding her breath, laying there with her eyes closed, waiting to see if anything happened. Nothing happened. So eventually she fell back asleep. I don't know how. I would be laying there with my eyes closed until like 6 in the morning. No joke. You know why? I'm a paranormal investigator and I love experiencing paranormal things. Okay. But when you invite something to your home, an entity that specifically is known to you, if you fuck up your ritual, that's terrifying. That's not cool. That's not fun. I don't want to do that. Anyways, the next morning, she wakes up and she's like, okay, I think this ritual is real because there was something walking outside my bedroom door last night. And in her mind, she's like, I've got physical safety for a year. So score. Bob's your uncle. But it's only within a few days that things start to get weird. 3 days since she did the ritual, she's coming home from work, gets inside, and notices that every single drawer, cupboard, closet door, microwave door, everything in the house open. Why? She did the ritual properly. Who's coming back here? Who's coming to hang out? And why are they coming uninvited? Because they were invited the first time. Now they're not invited. Now they're not invited. So she closes all the cupboards, all the drawers, all the closets. The next day she comes home from work. And this is random. Of course, this girl had a locket because that's like such a creepy piece of jewelry. Like such a cool, creepy piece of jewelry. But anyway, she had a locket and it had a picture of her grandmother in it who had passed away. She always had it hanging on this little like jewelry tree that she had in her bedroom. She gets home from work. She goes into her bedroom. She's going to change out of her work clothes and notices that the locket is on the ground in the bedroom. And she's like, that doesn't make sense. Like, I didn't do anything that would cause this to fall. I didn't even come near my jewelry this morning. I just put my shit on and went to work. Now, the day after the locket is found, she gets home from work and nothing is amiss, but she has this very strong feeling that she's being watched. Anywhere she goes in the house, she feels like there are eyes on her. And she does acknowledge that this could be paranoia, but she doesn't think it's paranoia because of what happens at night. At around 10:30 that night, Cora crawls into bed and decides she's going to read a book. Try to get her mind off of things. Try to calm herself down. So she's been reading her book for about 45 minutes when she hears, guess, walking in the hallway again. And she lives alone. The girl lives alone. The only pet she has is a fucking goldfish. So this is not normal for her to be hearing someone walking in her hallway. The footsteps are the exact same as the night she did the ritual. Back and forth, for about 10 minutes. It's time she can look at the clock because her eyes are open. But there's no sound of the footsteps stopping exactly in front of her door. And eventually the sound kind of just dissipates. So she's able to kind of convince herself that like, maybe I just imagined that, or maybe like I'm crazy and just super paranoid from doing the ritual. The next morning, Cora's heading out to work again. She goes out her back door to go walk to her garage where her car is parked. When she turns around to lock her back door, in the glass of the door, she sees a reflection of something behind her, a scarecrow. And obviously she is startled and whips around and nothing's there. Again, she's like, okay, I could be imagining this. The next day is a Saturday. Cora doesn't have work. She spends the morning watching TV, drinking coffee, and then starts doing a little afternoon clean. And the TV is off at this point. She's walking through her living room vacuuming when she sees in the reflection of the TV a scarecrow behind her. She whips around again, startled. Nothing's there. Cora is getting more and more freaked out. And that night she doesn't sleep at all. The next day, which is Sunday, nothing happens. She has a really good day until she goes to bed. She walks into her bedroom, turns off the light, and goes to crawl into bed when she notices a reflection once again in her bedroom mirror, the scarecrow. This is when I would be seeking like spiritual help. I would like be going to anyone I know who knows anything about like spirituality, cleansing, healing, and I'd be like, help me. I fucked up because that's creepy. Anyways, this is Cora's final line of her story and it gives me chills. Every night since then, he's standing closer. I really hope Cora's doing okay. That's all I can say.
This man was working in the fields when he was able to capture this strange creature going extremely fast. What could this possibly be?
If you see a man wandering the fields alone, don't follow him. Where furrows are straight and the crows keep still, the silent ploughman walks the hill. Legends say that at certain times of year, a solitary ploughman appears in fields at dawn, never speaking, never stopping. If you try to greet him, he simply vanishes into the air. But if you follow him, some say you'll find yourself lost in fields you don't recognize. Others say if you follow him too long or try to reach out, the sun may rise without you. You may forget where you are. The hills may seem wrong. The village may be gone. So if you do see a man seeming to be working the fields one morning, never tiring, never stopping, perhaps just leave him to it. Where the furrows are straight and the crows keep still, the silent ploughman walks the hill. He speaks no word and leaves no track. But turn your back, but turn your back.
Y'all know that men do witchcraft too, right? Everybody talks about women doing love spells on people, but what if it's your own partner doing love spells on you? Domination spells on you, binding spells on you. There's a client of mine that when we first started working together a year ago, we had found a domination working that her husband had did on her. Mind you, I can find these things, see these things, and fix these things psychically without the use of witchcraft. I could see the working, I could see the purpose of the working, I could see how it was affecting her. And when I told her everything that I saw, she confirmed. I told her that the purpose of this working was to get her to love being in the house. I could see like bars around all of the windows and like her home was a prison, but a pretty prison. I could see that there was something in this working, so if she were to get the idea to leave, she would change her mind suddenly. She would turn around. She would decide, no, it's better if I stay home. And don't you know that that was exactly this woman's lifestyle? So we fixed it, nice and quiet. You don't want to let somebody know that you know that they did a working on you. Let them think what they think. So I undo the working done on her, and she starts regaining her power, her authority, her sovereignty. Because she had no sovereignty because this working was done on her. And he wanted to make sure that she would never leave him. We have been doing mentorship one-on-one where she's been now working on her intuitive ability. And she had a suspicion that he had done another working on her. Lo and behold, we go to look and we find he recently did another working. He paid someone to do it. We could see him. We could see the person that he hired. We could see the working that was done. We could see his new intention that he was setting with her. And best believe we took care of that shit too, because what the fuck you think? So he didn't like the fact that over the last year, she had been reclaiming her authority. And he thought he would give it another go. No, not one of mine. So yeah, don't sleep on the fact that these men be out here doing love spells too. Because they don't want to let you go. And they want to control you. And they want to take the feminine energy that is yours.